It used to take me over a year to open up to people and talk about anything serious. But ever since I finally forced myself to start talking about things so I could start working through it, it's become a lot easier. I am here to talk about my rape and abusive relationships and how I have overcome that over the years. When I was 20, I was raped, and my whole life stopped because of it. Before that, I had been very successful. I'd worked many jobs. I was Dean's List. I was in a bunch of student organizations, and I just looked like I had it together. And all of a sudden, my mind, my safety of mind, was just like ripped apart. And it took me a long time to start standing on my own 2 feet. At first, I became addicted to being busy because I was so ashamed and I didn't want to deal with it or to think about it. I didn't want people to know what happened to me. I didn't want to talk about it, and I didn't want anybody to catch on. So I would be so busy from one thing to the other, constantly running myself ragged, working on like 7 films a week, working on or at as many jobs as I can, doing as many networking things as possible so I could go out there and I could look happy, because I thought if I faked it, I'd eventually get there. And then eventually I kind of snapped, and even despite how hard I worked, even how much I would go out and look happy and make friends and hang out with people, I had 3 really observant and close people to me stop me and say that they could tell something was up, and that they could tell I had started this cycle of just running myself ragged and taking all these other people in and trying to help them and take care of them, but that I was never vulnerable with people. I never told them what was going on in my mind, and that they thought it was becoming unhealthy. And I got mad and did it even more until finally I became so depressed that I tried to kill myself, and I broke up with a really nice guy that I'd been dating, and I was failing my classes, and that's when I finally accepted that I need to talk about this and I need to start to move on in a healthy way, and if I have to take medicines to get over this, then maybe that's what I need to do. And it was hard, and what really drove me over the edge was being sexually assaulted this recent January, where I was walking in a bar and this guy just grabbed my crotch, and I felt like my mind just shattered. I felt like I couldn't do this anymore, and I became a ghost, and I quit going out, and I quit having friends, and I became super flaky. It took me until I had to go do this whole Title IX thing against him, and finally get like an order of no contact and things, because he also stopped me, until I could finally start to get better. And I couldn't get better until I told my family. And now it's not just me, but my whole family has to get better. I would say stop trying to do it all alone, because I felt so alone, and my professors could tell, and I would go to counseling and they'd tell me what to do, and I just wouldn't do it, and I'd just lay around at home. And you'd only see me out at night when I'd go out and drink and stuff like that. And now when I tell people, they like can't even believe it happened to me, because they're like, you're literally the last person I thought, because you just seemed so happy, like you have so much going for you. It was all fake. And I would tell myself to like stop faking it and to actually answer my friends' questions when they ask, because they just love me. They're not trying to force me to do anything. They just want me to get better. And I would tell myself that everything I can do to get better is the most important thing. Not my job, not impressing people, just getting better. And I wish I would have done that 2 years ago. I think accepting that I'm not perfect and I never will be perfect, because for a long time I really tried to be. I'm upset because I'm not living the life I was supposed to. I'm graduating college late now. I almost dropped out. I live with my parents now, and that's not where I was supposed to be at all. And I think finally accepting that it's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. At least I'm alive, and at least I can get better. That's kind of what's beautiful, is that there's no limit on how much better you can be. You can just keep working at that. And I think that's the cool thing about being human.